Hey guys, Retro Gaming Maniac here, and in today's video we are talking about Starfield and how Bethesda is responding to some of the negative reviews it's been getting on the Steam store. So Starfield came out back in September of this year, and while it's been, kind of been said that it's a good game, it's been getting some negative reviews, especially lately on Steam. And I don't necessarily think people are just spamming hateful reviews and just kind of trying to bring the game down. I think these are legitimate reviews that I'm reading here. So people are complaining of things like the game being boring, the planets being empty, the NPCs, either being boring to talk to or not really offering anything, and also the endless loading times and constant loading screens and the basically same cutscenes for everything. So a lot of legitimate concerns, especially when you're advertising a game like Starfield that's supposed to be tons of stuff to do and exploration, but then you play the game and you find out that you can explore, but what is there to explore when every time you go somewhere it's empty or not fun to explore? So Bethesda has actually been responding to a lot of these reviews on Steam, and it's interesting to say the least. Now this news particularly comes from IGN, but basically it's saying that Bethesda is responding to these reviews left on Steam, and the way they're going about it is kind of ticking people off, honestly. They're responding to the main problem that each reviewer has. For instance, one reviewer is saying they're getting tired of the loading screens, and basically every time you want to do something there's a loading screen, whether it be travel to another planet. And Bethesda will respond to it by saying things like, "Oh, we understand that you're tired of loading screens." And then they'll go to the next sentence and they'll start a long multi-paragraph thing of explaining what Starfield is. And Starfield is a big open world game, and it's a very automated, robotic kind of response. So there's multiple ways you could look at this. It's like, okay, Bethesda is a big company, so normally you probably wouldn't get a response from Bethesda. From these big companies like Bethesda or EA, things like that, you probably won't ever hear from them. You're more likely to hear from smaller developers, indie developers, and things like that. So it is odd to kind of see Bethesda responding to the individual reviews on Steam. One reviewer stated that it doesn't matter where you go or all the different planets you visit, that everything kind of looks the same. They're using the same assets on some things. So he's kind of just stating that the game is kind of boring in that way, because you want to explore, but you go to these different planets and different locations just to find the same stuff that was on the other location. So Bethesda actually responded to this review saying, "Greetings, thank you for taking the time to leave a review for Starfield. We are sorry that you do not like landing on different planets and are finding many of them empty. Some of Starfield's planets are meant to be empty by design, but that's not boring. When the astronauts went to the moon, there was nothing there. They certainly weren't bored." So this is a funny response from Bethesda. It's funny, one, that a big company would be responding to reviews like this, which I guess is a good thing, that we can get the companies to see our reviews and issues we have with games. But the way they're responding to the reviews in Steam it's kind of making people angry, because right here is saying this player's got a valid concern, saying hey, it's boring. You go to all these different planets, the planets are empty, there's nothing to do. And Bethesda's response is, "But that's not boring." That's going to be a common phrase you're going to see throughout a lot of these reviews. And they actually use the phrase, "but that's not boring," and a few other reviews. Also, the way that they compared the video game to the astronauts landing on the moon, and that when they got there was nothing on the moon. That's kind of a ridiculous response. We're talking about a video game. We're not talking about a real life experience where you're walking on another planet or a moon in a spacesuit and zero gravity and all that stuff. So it's kind of ridiculous. And the thing that gets me is Bethesda is basically responding to these players' reviews and their concerns by saying, "Nuh-uh, it's not boring or it's not empty." And the way they're doing that is just, I don't know. Your players are telling you the issues they're having with the game, and your response is, "No, we believe that this is what is." No, the players are telling you what's wrong. It doesn't matter what you feel or how you say, like, well, we don't think that that's the case. It's like, no, it is the case because people are telling you it's the case. Look at the reviews. I mean, if you look right now, Bethesda, and Starfield, it has mixed reviews on Steam. And it's actually, from what we're seeing here, it's the lowest rated Bethesda game on Steam. And actually, if you look at Fallout 76 on Steam, it is at a mostly positive with a 76% mostly positive rating compared to a mixed rating on Starfield. So yeah, even Fallout 76, yeah, it had a rough launch, had a lot of issues, still has some issues, but they really turned that game around. And it's a very well-liked game to its devoted, small audience that it has. I know I've put a lot of hours into it myself. But yeah, this is funny, just seeing a big company A, respond to user reviews like that, and B, the way they're responding to people by basically saying, no, it's not, or no, it's not boring, or, just responding to it in a way where they're like, nuh-uh. It's really ticking people off. And what are your thoughts on that? Do you feel that Bethesda is responding appropriately? Should they be responding at all? It kind of seems like they're in damage control mode right now, and their responses are making more people upset than helping. And to me personally, I think responding is great. It's nice that we can get the attention of some of these bigger developers and that they're seeing our reviews, but they need to not just say that we're wrong and give this long, copy and pasted answer. They need to actually say, hey, we understand you have concerns. Maybe we can work on it. How can we make it better? Things like that, instead of just brushing off the complaints and then going on a tangent about how great their game is. But anyways, what do you guys think? Hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on it. Have you played Starfield? What do you think about it? Are the reviews valid? Go on Steam and check it out. Check out some of the reviews. They all have a very similar complaints, boredom, things like that. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and we will see you next time.